every time there's a success, you feel validated and you feel na, oh, I've made it this far. And then you never dwell on that. You never dwell on that because that only puts you at the point wherein, parang ito na ba yun? Hanggang dito ka lang ba? Hi, this is Piolo Pascual, and today I'll be answering questions from people off the internet. All right, first, how do you feel about the nickname Papa P, especially when it first started? Just a short background. I guested on an afternoon show, and it was Miss Aya de las Alas that called me Papa P. And it kind of stuck from there, so people started calling me Papa P. At first, of course, I was very uncomfortable because I have my son, and he calls me Papa. So people around me would call me Papa P, and I'd be really uncomfortable because even the cameraman would call me Papa P. So I'm like, okay, until such a time that I was like, I guess I just have to live with it. And it just became sort of a term of endearment that I just had to accept.
Ano nga ba feeling mo maging isang Papa? What did it feel?
I actually humor myself when I hear that, when people call me Papa P, and I also call myself Papa P. Parang it's an alter ego, sort of. So I look at my character as an actor as Papa P. But in real life, I'm PJ. People call me PJ. But since it stuck, I've learned to accept and appreciate. Sometimes I treat it as a sign of respect from people who can call me Tito or Kuya. They call me Papa P. Okay, have you ever been intimidated by someone? Oh yeah, every time. Not just by someone, by anything that I do, especially if it's a big project or if I'm doing work with actors I really admire or look up to. I get really intimidated. I get intimidated when I'm asked during an interview, when I do talk shows. When it happens, I lose my focus and I tend to get so insecure. But I guess you just have to channel it in such a way wherein you have to be comfortable so you'd be able to answer better or to act better. So I try to prep myself before or I pray. As a movie star yourself, sino si Papa P? Sa tingin mo, sino ka mas starstruck? I remember I was starstruck by Kuya Gary Valenciano, when I was still doing ASAP before. Every time I get a chance to talk with him, his aura, his presence is so intimidating, but at the same time, it's so embracing. So I'm like, whenever I talk to him, I still get starstruck. I've seen some Hollywood stars, but I guess it's different when you're in the same field from the Philippines. So for me, I was actually a security guard at the Oscars once in the 90s. And I saw all of them, and that was the time that they had all the past winners in one hall. So they had to ask all the security to cordon them off from the people. And I remember seeing a lot of stars, and for some reason I didn't get starstruck because I guess I wasn't still a celebrity yet. So for me, when I saw them, parang mga tao rin pala sila. They're normal people. But when I became a movie star, that's when I realized, the kind of pressure, that comes with celebrity. Do you ever miss life before the limelight? It's hard to say that I miss my life before because I still have my life, out of showbiz. Being in the limelight, I guess, is just part of my job. I call it my day job. Siguro the anonymity, whenever you go to malls, you can't have that anymore. If there's one thing that I miss, I used to do my groceries before because I like to do my personal groceries, so I know what to buy and what not to buy so you don't spoil stuff. Small things, but it's nothing big.
Have you ever tried to disguise yourself just to go out?
I've thought of that many times. During the pandemic, to get to wear a mask, wear shades, and wear a hat. But for some reason, I still get recognized. So even when I'm running on the street, sometimes ipapara ako ng kaibigan ko, "Ay, ba't ka tumatakbo mag-isa?" Oh, anyway, I've thought of that many times, and I've never done it. So hopefully one day I get to do it. Just for kicks. Was there ever a time that you were so absorbed in your character that you started to act like them in real life? All the time. Especially from my last film, Mallari. I really imbibed him. And my director would always say, you have to shake it off. After this, you have to go on a vacation, take some time off because, when you immerse yourself, you really dig deep. and you have to know the character. And whenever I take on a character, I really try to live it. I really try to understand his journey, where he's coming from, what he's doing, where he's going. Chances are, most of the time, I get affected by it. In terms of sensitivity, I become more vulnerable and I become more affected by everything around me. But me as a person, I'm usually deadma. You know, when you're in character, it gets to you. It gets to a point that you have to tell yourself, "Wait, easy ka lang, hindi ikaw yan." Especially if it's a TV show, which lasts for 6 months minimum. So for a year, I'm like the same character, even if I'm not in front of the camera. And my staff would also tell me, nagiging ganun ka na, ikaw na yung character mo. So it's also nice to be able to kind of end that. So at least you can shake it off and move on to another character because hindi naman pwede hang ganun ka. Hindi ka naman, especially Mallari, lang mas maging serial killer sa totoong buhay.
Speaking of Mallari though, I know you played 3 different roles,
Mhm.
3 different timelines pa.
Yes.
So how does that affect you knowing na magkakaiba yun?
I had to do some research. Period Period yung 1812, period din yung 1940s, and I had to research about what was happening around me as the character in the Philippines. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube just for reference, the mannerisms, the way they talk, the way they were. So in the present, it's easier because it's me. So I was able to kind of differentiate the characters based on the timeline that was given me. And I had an acting coach the whole time that was guiding me all throughout the film, the shoot. Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. Next. How do you stay present as an actor on set with your co-stars, with everything happening in your life? Whatever I do, I make sure I'm there because, you know, you are your own brand, you are your own person, and I have to present myself in such a way that I'm not fooling anyone. So I always try to be the same person that I am on and off cam. So I'm always present in that sense because I really value where I am, what I do, and I enjoy it. It happens, you know, there are times when you get confused, especially if you have a lot of things to do, especially pag maraming binibigay ng trabaho sa'yo, na nagdo-double booking, overbooking in a day. But yeah, I guess I'm just a different species in that way because I really simplify things in such a way that I have to focus on this. I cannot think about what you're telling me. If there's any other thing that I have to deal with, it has to come after my work. It has to come after I'm done with work. Right, Giselle? Living in the present is more important than living in the past. And being present will entail what's going to happen in the future. So I enjoy the present and being present and being in the moment. All right. When was the last time you weren't proud of yourself? Proud na proud. In this business, you know, you're only as good as your last project, as they say. So I always make it a point to give it my best. But there were times before, and you know, I wish I did this. I wish I was able to, you know, live up to what I was expecting myself to do. But I always tap myself on the shoulder and say, you know, you got this. You know, I'm not hard on myself. I just, you know, like what we said a while ago, you try to stay present. And you really live the life of whatever you're doing and appreciate everything that happens around me, and I don't beat myself up if I don't get to do it right. I just carry on and, you know, try to be better, you know, after. What piece of advice did you receive earlier in your life that you still carry with you today? Mommy V gave me really sound advice when we were doing Dekada 70. I was in my mid-20s back then, and she told me how to invest my money, and I still do that until now. It was because of that piece of advice that I was able to really value the hard work, you know, that I put into this job. And I was able to really appreciate that because of what she said. Because she's been there, you know, she's been around since she was a kid. So that's one thing I really value and I still practice up to now. And that is business, real estate. That's what saved her, according to her. And so from then on, I started, whenever I have something extra, I would remember what Mommy V told me to, you know, invest your money on things that, you know, will, you know, reap the harvest in time. At what point did you realize you've made it? I remember the first time when I felt that I had a home, that I had like this work, you know, that embraced me was when I got my first award for Dekada 70 at the Film Fest 22 years ago, 21 years ago or something. That's when I felt validated. That's when I felt, oh, pwede ko palang gawin tong trabaho. And I was just starting out then. You know, every time there's a success, you feel validated and you feel na, oh, I've made it this far. And then you never dwell on that. You never dwell on that. because there's tomorrow that you have to deal with. You know, you bask in the glory of your success for now, but you have to carry on. You have to move on and grow, still grow, and discover more about what else will make you a better person, a better actor, and a better character. I don't want to say that I've made it. I want to say that there are times that I feel I'm validated because of the success of my work, be it film, movie, album, concert, whatever. But I never dwell on it. I never tell myself you've made it, because that only puts you at the point wherein, you know, parang ito na ba yun, hanggang dito ka lang ba? I appreciate, I'm grateful for it, but it's something that inspires me to strive harder, to become better, and to soar higher. And there's another one that Mr. M, my manager, my dad, told me before na, you know, this is not gonna last forever. When he told me, as I was climbing up the ladder of success, he told me, give or take 3 or 5 years, you're done. And I said, okay, if that's the case, then I'll have to make it good and give it my best. And that was like more than 20 years ago when he told me that. And you know, these are things that I still carry with me today. And I appreciate those things, because if not for those, you know, I would have been a mess. Oh, last one na. Sisimula pa lang ako. Wow! Ang dami ko kasi sinasabi. Anong hindi pa nagagawa ni Papa P? Marami. I never thought I'd be able to play a serial killer. When it was first pitched to me, I really turned it down because 3 characters in 1 movie. So I was like, kailangan ko ba to at this point of my career? But I'm a sucker for docus, stories of serial killers for that matter. At marami pa akong hindi pa nagagawa. You know, I never thought I'd get this far. I never thought I'd be able to do the things that I've done. So I guess, you know, I can challenge myself to do more things and discover more about what I can still do and the characters that I can still portray. I get to have my vacation once a year. It's about 5 weeks. Siguro 2 months nagawa ko rin. I really wanna be able to have more downtime. Probably 3 months in a year. Wala, I love what I do. I'm a workaholic. Sabi nga ni Isa Calzado, the other day I was doing hosting duties for the Eddies. Sabi niya, wala ka bang balak tumigil? Sabi ko, I don't know. And I just love what I do, and you know, I can't be unproductive. And she said, you know, I guess you're just really a workhorse. Sayang naman you know, while you still can, while there are opportunities to grow. But there are still a lot of things I want to do in life as a private citizen. Private citizen! I like farming. I like to have more time at home so I can attend to my plants. Wow. I was in a theme park with my son last week. It's been a while since we last went to a theme park. So, you know, more time with him, hopefully, as he's getting older. But for now, I'm okay where I am. I'm not complaining. But I guess I just want to have more days in a year, more hours in a day, so I have more time to more time for myself, more time to sleep. Kailan kaya? Hi everyone, thanks for watching and listening, and I'd like to invite you to please watch Mallari, the first and only documented serial killer in the Philippines. This is not to patronize him, but to just know more about this person who is very intriguing. And for you to find out, please watch Mallari on December 25 as an entry to the Manila Film Festival. See you at the cinemas!
And God, thank you so much!
Sabi?
Yan, 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 yan.